So, very good morning to all. I hope everybody can see and hear me clearly. Good morning. All of you would have attended my sessions now. I am Sanojam DB. I take English and reasoning, critical reasoning classes. Today, we meet for the third part of this series of lectures which I take on YouTube. This is to help you prepare for Maharashtra CET in the sense that Maharashtra CET is an exam which is drawing quite close. It is basically going to be in the month of August, right? Something like it is going to be, all of us know it's going to be in the month of August. So we are actually looking at the last mile kind of a preparation. So everything is clear. I hope all of you can see and hear me clearly. Okay. Now, before we begin with anything, let me quickly tell you about the schedule of YouTube throughout the day, all across the week. I mean, you can see that there are many sessions which happen live on this particular channel. This is basically going to ensure that your preparation never stays behind. So you will always be getting supplements, you will always be getting inputs on how do you read. So that is basically what is that is what we ensure here in Maharashtra in the Gradeup YouTube channel. So everybody is clear about this. I hope all of you attend these sessions very regularly, right? Now, what is the agenda today? Today we will quickly take a look at Maharashtra CET VARC section, a quick overview to understand how should we prepare, right? And this is something which is going to be a very brief 2-3 minutes discussion on how the paper is like, what can we expect, and so on, right? More important part is we will try to discuss what can be done now, in the sense that you have probably, if everything goes well, the exam will most probably take place in the month of August, right? So you have less than a month to prepare if all goes well. Now, so in such a short period of time, in 1 month, what can we do? So that is what we will try to discuss. And last but not the least, we will also solve some questions. So we will do 3 things today, right? One is take a quick overview of the VARC section of Maharashtra CET, and second, we will decide what can be done now to enhance your performance, right? Last minute kya kiya ja sakta hai. And third, we will solve some questions which are actually relevant to Maharashtra CET, right? So very good morning to everybody. I hope all of you can see and hear me clearly, right? Now, this is something which I would expect everybody who is preparing for the exam to know, that Maharashtra CET is purely a speed game, right? All of us know that they ask you 200 questions and the time that they give you is 150 minutes, and there are 4 sections, right? So this is basically what we know: 200 questions, 150 minutes, 4 sections. So this basically brings us to a very simple fact, that is, for VARC section, 50 questions you will have to do it in 35 to 40 minutes. इससे ज़्यादा टाइम अगर लगाओगे, you are actually not doing justice. You will not be able to do justice to the other sections, right? So very important thing is to realize this first. So VARC section, 50 questions, you will have not more than 35 to 40 minutes. If you spend more time than this, well, you are wasting your chances, because other sections are there. If you take a quick look at the other sections, what are the other sections? Other sections are, there is something called abstract reasoning. They ask you 25 questions. Logical reasoning and DI, they are going to ask you 75 questions. Quant, they are going to ask you 50 questions. VA and RC, they are going to ask you 50 questions. All this to be done in 150 minutes. So based on this, I am simply, arriving at the very simple equation, that is VARC 50 questions in 35 to 40 minutes. So this is what we need to do. Right, all clear? I think nobody is responding so far, right? So good afternoon everybody, good morning everybody, hello, right? So everything is clear, I hope. Now, so in such a case, it's also very important to understand what are the types of questions that come in Maharashtra CET in the English or the VARC section, right? Something which we should know very clearly is RC 15 questions definitely comes, right? And they ask you 2 passages. This is like the reality. Parajumbles, right, based on this, we will also understand, we will try to understand how things work out, in the sense that इसके हिसाब से strategy कैसे बनाए वो भी हम discuss करते हैं, probably 2-3 minutes. ठीक है, right? And I would like everybody to give a thought to the strategy, because if you do not have good strategies, right, your time management skills will definitely falter, and overall your performance in the exam will definitely drop down. So try as much as possible, try to look at the various possibilities and accordingly try to account for the various permutations and combinations. So that is what we are trying to do today, right? So Parajumbles 5 to 7 questions, and if you notice, Parajumbles 5 to 7 questions ज़्यादातर किस type के आते हैं? They ask you something which is very similar to the banking sector exams, right? And close हर बार नहीं आते, अगर आता है तो it will be like 5 to 7 questions. And if I tell you one thing very clearly, you have already had a lot of sessions on Parajumbles on the Gradeup channel. How do you solve it? Everybody, you have seen it a lot to a great extent, right? RC, I will pick it up in the next session of the series, that is next, Sunday. I will pick up how do you solve RC as far as MAHCET CET is concerned, right? Close, we will try to attempt today. Today, I would like everybody to focus on what can I do as far as grammar and vocab is concerned. If you notice, grammar, nothing much beyond practice, right? Because grammar is very vast, right? But there is one thing which you can definitely work on, that is vocab. Vocabulary in this next month, right? You can actually learn 20-30 words every day from the right sources, and you can definitely increase your chances. Of course, if you look at it this way, RC 15 questions, Parajumble 5, so around 25 questions are gone here. So grammar and vocab, you will get around close to another 20 plus questions, right? So that basically means vocab you might experience close to 10 questions. So you can actually think of that. Now Prachi is saying RC passages are very long. Itna lamba nahi hai. Ek din we'll do one thing. Next part of the session which I take next Sunday 10 o'clock, we will focus on how do we look at RC. As of now, as of today, let's focus on vocab में हम अभी क्या क्या कर सकते हैं, because this is something which is definitely achievable. I hope everybody is clear with this, right? So the one part which there are two things which I would like to focus on today, that is vocab base में क्या क्या कर सकते हैं, and close how do we handle it, right? So this is what I'm going to show you questions. But before that, let me give you 4 things. I hope everybody can see all these 4 things that you see on the screen, right? These are sources which you can use to improve your vocabulary. Look at the first source. The first source might be a little bit confusing everybody, right? बहुत easy है, एक काम करो, Google में MSSS7 Weebly and classical mythological vocabulary ये type करके देखो, you will get a URL like this. ठीक है, right? And when you get this URL, you will get roughly around 80 to 90 very common words taken from mythology, from classical mythology, Greek, Latin के mythology के words बहुत easily मिलेंगे, 80-90. Tell me कितना time लगेगा? How much time do you think will you take to go through all those 80-90 words? Go through along with the dictionary. Side में dictionary रखो. So how long will you take? 80-90 words. This is something which can be done in a matter of 5-6 days. In those 5-6 days, exam से पहले अगर करोगे, it will be fresh in your memory also. ठीक है, right? And these two sources, 2 and 3, these are basically for idioms. These are for idioms and phrasal verbs, right? And idioms, phrasal verbs and proverbs. These two sources which I am giving you, 2 and 3, right? This again, if you look at it, you will come across many idioms, many phrasal verbs. Again, in the next 1 month, if you learn around 10 every day, right, you will definitely remember many and it will be fresh in your memory also, right? I hope everybody is getting the point. Everybody understood, right? And the last resource, इसको Google करके देखो, wordinfo.info. Google करके देखो, you will find a URL, right? So use this URL, you will come across many words, alphabetical order में दिया रहेगा, right? Can you do one thing? It's very simple. Vocabulary in the next 1 month, जितना हो सकता है, you can prepare from these, right? At least in those 10 to 15 questions which are connected to vocabulary, at least you can still be satisfied that you have put in your best. Did everybody understand? Right, everybody understood, right? So now many people are asking admit card kab aayega, admit card, again that is something which completely depends on the authorities, right? So we know that, you know, notification ke hisab se everything will go right, and let's keep our fingers crossed in the sense that nothing should go wrong as far as the COVID situation is concerned. I hope everybody understood what I was asking everybody to do in these 3-4 URLs. क्या करना है सबको समझ में आ गया? This is primarily about vocab, because vocab is an area which can never be finished, right? So last 30 minutes का जो 30 days का जो push है, you can definitely do it from here. Everybody understood? Take it up from here. ठीक है? And by the way, vocab अगर कोई पढ़ाए, if somebody teaches you, well, it is good. But then if you gather it on your own, it becomes much more easy, right? Everybody understood this, I hope. So this is what we need to do. All clear, I think. Now let's do one thing. Let's practice some questions, right? And while practicing those questions, right, the first thing I will start is from, you know, idioms, right? These are all questions taken from the past. So quickly tell me what is your answer. You must not waste your leisure doing nothing, right? So this is basically the kind of question that came last 3-4 years. Around 5 of these questions have definitely come. So idioms basically. So notice idioms कहाँ से prepare करना है? These two, learn-english-today.com and phrases.org. ठीक है? Can you quickly tell me what is the answer? Now, blow off steam. What should be the answer? Everybody is trying it. I hope everybody is doing it. Everybody is doing it, I hope. It's very easy. I mean, something which is very easy. It means to release surplus energy. This is the answer. Now, one thing about idioms is that you will either know the meaning or not know the meaning. Right? So, ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं कर सकते. Vocabulary जैसा ही है. So, what are the two sources? Let me tell you again. The sources which you need to focus on are learn-english- ये today.com for idioms, right? And another one is phrases.org.uk. इसमें you will find hundreds of idioms. Every day learn around 10. So that way you will be definitely, before the exam, you will have revised around 300 to 500 idioms. And it will be also fresh in your memory because you have just taken it. Everybody understood? So the answer to this question is release surplus energy. More than the question, I would like you to think of a plan, right? कि idioms and phrases 5 question तो पूछते ही है. So what should I do? The 2 sites which I gave you. ठीक है? क्या sites है? Right, learn-english-today.com, right, and phrases.org.uk, right? So that is what we need to do, right? Okay. Like, what about the next question? I hope everybody is trying it, right? So this is a very common, you know, idiom that you come across, and these are questions. The questions which I have picked, they are from memory-based Maharashtra CET. So some of you are saying that questions are difficult. I understand questions are difficult, but then there are some questions which are worth or which can be definitely attempted. So let's see. Right, so everybody is answering. Okay, Prachi, leisure basically means when you have nothing to do, right? Leisure is free time. Okay, right? So the answer to this question is something which you can very easily understand, right? It is basically inappropriate language, right? Especially using abusive language. This is something which everybody would know, I think, right? So everybody is clear with the answer, right? Now, as I was telling you, idioms and phrases karenge, right? If you notice, these are exact questions which are asked in the exam, right? So definitely 5 questions idioms ke hote hain, right? If it comes, you should not feel left out. Okay, try the next question. Let's see. Right, everybody is clear with what we are doing, I think, right? So more importantly, practicing questions तो हम करते रहेंगे, right? But with idioms, as I tell everybody, या तो meaning पता होगा या नहीं पता होगा. So the best thing is in the next 30 days, जितना learn करना हो कर सकते हो कर लो from the 2 sources which I give you. ठीक है? And that will basically ensure that last minute you are actually pushing it to a great extent. ठीक है? Right. So leisure is free time, correct, Abhishek? Right, what should be the answer to this question? Right, you can easily, if you notice these type of questions, you can easily sense from the context also. Life is not worth living if I were out and the game is now. Right, if life is not worth living if I were out and the game is now not worth the candle. It is almost like the whatever you are putting in, the input, right, and the output, it is not proportionate. So probably that is what the sentence is about. So the best answer to this question is C. The game is not worth the effort put. Right. So if you notice, idioms and phrases attemptable है, 5 questions है. And if you notice, ये 5 questions, right, 5 questions, if at all they are asked, can you not do it in 2 minutes? Yes or no? कर सकते हैं. Idioms के 5 questions आते हैं, 2 मिनट में कर सकते हैं ना? Yes or no? Yes. If the answer is yes, herein lies the trick to your time management. देखो टाइम कहां पे लगने वाला है, आरसी पैराजम्बल लगने दो, ऐसे क्वेश्चंस पे बचाओ, so that you will be able to save, you will be able to invest the time that you have saved here. Getting the point, right? So जो questions जल्दी हो सकता है उनको जल्दी कर लो, use techniques to eliminate, right? So that is what I always keep on telling everybody. And if you have attended my earlier sessions, you will also remember, you will also notice that the classes, right, the questions which are attemptable, word exchange, grammar, ये सब जल्दी होता है, ठीक है, right? Another question, let's see, right, from vocabulary or from from idioms. Let's say, I heard it on the grapevine that the vacancies are going to be increased this year for many posts. I hope everybody is getting the points. What is the answer to this? Right. So grapevine is basically what do you hear around you, people around you talking. It's the informal channel of communication, right? Rumor jaisa. So in a way, most people are getting the answer correct, right? So Ganesh, Ankush, Manjali, Sakshi, Shreya, Ultraviolet, I know that is not your name, but the answer which you have marked is definitely correct, right? So this is basically clear, right? So idioms and phrases, right? I think it is all clear, right? एक और question है, right? Let me tell you once more again, idioms कहाँ से learn करना है? There is a site, learn-english-today.com, right? You will come across around close to 500 idioms here, ठीक है? And there's another site, phrases.org.uk, right? मैं बार बार बता रहा हूँ, that is because it is going to be of your help, right? So 5 to 6 questions पूछते ही है, so do not miss them out. For the next 30 days, you should completely finish these 2 sites. Everybody is clear? So next question, what should it be? Meet a knight in shining armor. ये भी बहुत easy है. So the best answer is C. So everybody understood my agenda, I think, right? So vocabulary final push यहाँ से कर लो, right? And remember, 2 और sites था which I told you. I'll just go back to it. As far as vocab is concerned, there are these 4 sites which I would like everybody to focus on. एक है URL या search कर लो. For this, you will get around 90 words here. Very common, right? So from here you will get idioms to a great extent, right? And here, this is the 4th source which you have to Google. You will get alphabetical list. You will get around, around 50 pages of good vocabulary, right? So this is what we need to do. So for the next 30 days, everybody do this for the next 30 days, or whenever the exam is, till the exam is, right? As far as possible, vocab में push करके देख लो, because around 10 questions come from vocabulary. So this is what we need to do. ठीक है? Clear है? Right. देखो बाकी questions पे क्या करें या ना करें, that is something which is very difficult to decide. But what I'm telling you right now is something which can definitely be achieved. Right. Now, next thing which I would like you to focus on as far as Maharashtra CET exam is concerned is, right, question types जो है, they can be very inventive with question types. Question types नया पूछा जा सकता है. They can ask you new question types to a great extent. So what should I do? Right. If they are going to ask you new question types, I should focus a lot on the directions. Right. For example, let's discuss some more questions which are like fill in the blanks but of a new kind. For example, इसमें अगर मैं direction पे focus ना करके, right, what I'm saying here is मान के मत चलो, do not assume anything, right, you never know what is going to come, so everything will depend on the direction. This is another aspect of Maharashtra CET. The questions are very inventive. So what does it say? A passage with 3 blanks is given, right, so each option containing one word, choose the word which can fill all the 3 blanks to convey the correct meaning of the sentence. The question looks something like this. Now you will find ये तो बहुत लंबा सा लग रहा है, but if you notice, this can be done in 30 seconds, right? Do one thing, from here to here you do not have to read very, skip तो नहीं करना चाहिए, right? But if you notice, you just have to scan through it, right? Start reading from here and look at what kind of a word do you require. The subprime crisis is not a direct dash of subprime mortgage delinquencies. If you notice, a direct, you require a noun. Okay, here. And the crisis is not a direct dash of subprime mortgage delinquencies. Now, if you notice, the only thing which can come is, देखो, outcome might be possible, consequences possible, proportion you have eliminated, conclusion, response, it cannot be a response, right? The paralysis that came over global finance is a dash, so is now the problem is A है इधर, तो outcome नहीं हो सकता. What is the only answer left? I just showed you a very quick way to answer it, right? Proportion नहीं होगा प्राची, proportion नहीं होगा, right? Proportion is almost like when you divide into parts, right? The crisis is not a direct part of the mortgage delinquency. क्या होता है? Delinquency is when people break laws, right? So, is the crisis going to be a part of people breaking laws, or is it going to be a result? Straight away, what do you find? The answer will have to be consequences. Outcome नहीं हो सकता. Many of you look at it, देखो यहाँ A है, यहाँ A है, तो outcome तो हो ही नहीं सकता, right? And by the way, conclusion is what you derive, not a natural result, right? Response is what a person gives. So ये भी मैंने eliminate कर दिया. Proportion also I eliminated. The answer is C. Tell me, how long did I take to answer this question? How long did I take to answer this question? Probably I took 20 seconds, right? So the important thing here is, such questions, if at all they come in the exam, ये fill in the blanks का एक नया रूप है which comes in Maharashtra CET. So क्या करना चाहिए? The first thing which I should do is read the directions very properly. And second, right, so what should I do? Read the directions very properly. Direction ध्यान से पढ़ो, because direction will tell you what is to be done. Do not assume anything. कुछ भी मान के मत चलो. And second, eliminate. Notice how I eliminated. A है तो outcome हो ही नहीं सकता. So that makes things a lot more easier. First question I solved with you, right? Second question I will give it to you. I'll give you some time and then we will discuss it. This is the second answer is C. Okay. Second question is this, right? So one sentence, right? One word is going to fill up all the blanks. I'll give you enough time. Everybody is getting the point, I hope, right? So ऐसे questions जो है, these are the ones which you should attempt very soon, so that you will have ample time left for RC or parasymbol, something which I keep on telling everybody. ठीक है? This is something which can be very easily done, right? So some of you have answered it. Akash has already given his answer. Ankush also has given his answer, right? Prachi, right, also give. Okay, ultraviolet E, bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is an instrument. Okay, ultraviolet, I know that's not your name, but is एक बार बताओ, first blank में bankruptcy fit हो रहा है. What is bankruptcy? Bankruptcy is a condition. It is not an instrument. Instrument बिल्कुल है ही नहीं ना. Bankruptcy is a condition when you have no money. It's not an instrument. ठीक है? An instrument of indebtedness of the issuer to the holders. Indebtedness basically means, okay, I have to give you some money. That is called indebtedness. ठीक है? In debt. So that is indebtedness. ठीक है. So if you notice, it cannot be brand also, right? It cannot be barter, because barter is when you exchange. So the best answer is bond. Stock is more about equity, stock and market. So it is not, so a stock is not an instrument of indebtedness, right? So it is basically a bond. The bond is a debt security. Thus, a bond is a form of a loan or an IOU. From this, you can very easily understand. Thus, a bond is a loan. So stock is not a loan. So the best answer is C. Everybody got the point? I hope everybody understood. So this is something which I always keep on telling everybody. Use the right strategies. Use the right strategies, and time management will improve to a great extent. Right. So क्या है अभी तक? what have you learned is, एक तो vocabulary, something which we need to push. Last 30 minutes you need to push, 30 days you need to push a lot. Second, strategies सही करके चलो, right? जिन questions में time save कर सकते हैं, if there are questions where you can save time, definitely save time there so that you can actually use it there. Next question is this, right? Right, and this is something which is very easy. This 48 question, I expect everybody to answer it in a matter of 10 seconds. 10 सेकंड की बात है. Right. This is something which everybody can answer. Yes, and as I expected, everybody is giving the answer. Yes, answer is this, right? If you notice, यहाँ subject चाहिए, right? And also is भी है. So traditions नहीं होगा. Traditionally adverb है. मुझे adverb नहीं, मुझे क्या चाहिए? Noun चाहिए ना. I require a noun. So adverb traditionally निकाल दिया, right? Traditional adjective है, so ये भी eliminate कर दिया. Now the only thing which is left is traditionalism. Traditionalism is an abstract noun. It means the practice of following traditions, right? So is the practice of following traditions living and active? No, it is tradition which is living and active. Conventions, if you notice, one more thing is convention and tradition is actually compared, right? So everybody got the answer. So this is what I always keep on telling people: use the right tactics and get the answer correct. ठीक है, ये काम करते हैं, right? So let's try one more question like this, right? This is the next question, and then we can move on. Right, this is something which dash. So everybody, this also is something which can be done very easily. I would expect everybody to answer this question very easily, right? Body dash is a form of communication without using words. Body dash includes the use of body posture, gestures. This is something which can be very easily done. It will take you a matter of seconds. Body conversation. Is it conversation? Body conversation कैसे हो सकता है? Some psychologists say that body dash actually communicates more information than using words. So here also, if you notice, what should it be? What should the answer be? Body dash is a form of communication, right? Body speech कैसे हो सकता है? Body dialect नहीं हो सकता. Body conversation, body language. The answer is very easy, right? So such questions you should be able to do it in a jiffy. Everybody got the point, I hope. So these are questions. The next question I'm skipping, right? I am skipping the next question. Now, everybody got it, I hope. So body language ही हो सकता है, right? So the last question I'm skipping. Now let's pick up one last type of question for today, right? This is close, right? If you notice, in close, generally what do you expect? You expect one blank and you expect one answer option. But महाराष्ट्र CET में क्लोज हर साल नहीं आते, but if it comes, you should be open to new types, right? So I should basically be open to new types. So the first thing you should do is pay attention to the direction. Now normally close में क्या होता है? One option, right? One blank, one option. Here if you notice, what does it say? There are blanks, if each of which has been numbered. These numbers correspond to the question numbers, right? There are two words. So choose the set of words, right? Suggest that both words should fit the given blank, which means if I mark anything as the answer, both the words should fit in the answer, right? So look at option, even look at 6 if you look at it. So we have somehow come to perceive that we progress mainly by a process of addition. That is, we dash as being deficient and we believe that we progress by a state of addition. Now एक चीज तो है, to solve close, right, you need to read at least the first few sentences, right? So quickly, can you start giving your answer? Right. So Shreya is quick with the answer. Shreya says the answer is A. What about others? Right. So what we have to be careful about is do not assume anything. कुछ भी मान के मत चलो. In Maharashtra CET they are known for springing surprise. So keep your mind open. Right. Direction is what will tell you क्या करना है. So directions को कभी भी never underestimate directions. So waiting for your answers. Shreya and Sakhi, right, have given the answers. Their answers A. What about others? That is, we dash as being deficient and we believe that we progress. So it's like as we go ahead, we progress. And what is going to come here is in the beginning, right? So what will come in the beginning? Raj thinks the answer is C. We initiate. Okay, एक बार बताओ, start fit हो सकता है blank पे नहीं, ठीक है? Start on fit हो सकता है नहीं, follow हो सकता है नहीं, तो if you and start up नहीं हो सकता, so the answer is A. The answer is A. You have to mark something where both can fit. Both can fit. We plural है तो start तो हो ही नहीं सकता. Eliminate this, right? Now startup is an organization. नया organization शुरू करना, that is called a startup. So I cannot use it here. Start on तो कोई phrasal verb है भी नहीं. Follow is not suitable. So the best answer is A. Everybody is clear? So if you notice, this is also a kind of close test which might come in the exam. If it comes, you should be willing to, first focus on the, on the directions, and second, eliminate, right? Eliminate. If you notice, 90% of your problems are solved if you eliminate your answer options, if you eliminate the wrong answer options. Everybody understood the answer? The answer here is A. ठीक है, we start up as being, start up नहीं कह सकते, start up is basically an organization, नया organization शुरू करना, ठीक है? Everybody got the point? ठीक है, right? All clear, I think. Do not be worried, right? Do not be worried. देखो, right? If you notice, embark, okay, embark की बार क्या होता बताए? Embark की बार हमेशा on. You embark on a journey. So it is always used like this. Embark on a journey or embark on your way. ऐसे यूज होता है हमेशा, ठीक है? Everybody got the point, I hope. Yes. So do not be worried, right? So आराम से करो. You have already read the 6th, right? Now do one thing. I am going to give you the next question. Next question is this, ठीक है? Now you have to fill up 7th, right? So we begin, start off जैसा हो गया, we start off commence हो गया, ठीक है? Second क्या होगा? Now one mistake that a lot of people make is in close test people skip the lines where there are no blanks. Do not skip it, right? At least if not the whole paragraph नहीं पढ़ पाओ तो at least 3-4 sentences एक साथ पढ़ो, right? So but this dash with addition makes us waste all our lives in adding things at all levels. So what will be the 7th one? Quickly. सेवेंथ में क्या फिट होगा? ओके, सो श्रेया क्विक विद द आंसर. बाकी ऑप्शन मैं बता दूंगा, राइट? देखो right, it's about using the right. Okay, Shreya and Raj think the answer is B. What about others? Let's see, right? Quickly. Okay, E. Okay, एक मिनट करके, right? Answer मैं बता देता हूँ, then I will quickly tell you. So people are slowly giving their answers. Let's see. देखो, eliminate करके चलो. So this dash with, be very careful. यहाँ blank के बाद you have the word with here. So एक चीज तो है कि, right? Unnecessarily addition कि पीछे भागना is what is the case. Addition मतलब कुछ नया ऐड करना, नया हासिल करना. So that is basically that thing, right? Now what is the best answer? The best answer is B, right? बाकी if you notice, many of you I think have got it correct. So ultraviolet, Vaibhav, Radhe, right, and Raj and Shreya have got it correct. Some of you have got it wrong. Anyway, those of you have got it wrong, एक बार देखो. रिप्रेशन बिल्कुल नहीं सूटेबल है. रिप्रेशन बेसिकली मीन्स दबा के रखना, अंडर कंट्रोल, तो सबड्यू, ठीक है, so which is not suitable here. Concentration with, concentration on होता है, so A तो eliminate कर दोगे. Preoccupation and obsession with, दोनों के बाद with आता है. When you are preoccupied with something, that means your mind is already concerned in that, you are paying too much of focus on that. Obsession with, almost पागल जैसा होना, ठीक है. Now C में देखो abstraction fit नहीं होता. Abstraction basically means to think of something in an abstract manner, right? Abstract क्या होता है? Something which has no mass or volume, right? Abstract, indulging in abstract thoughts. तो ये तो यहाँ suitable है ही नहीं ना. And मान लो fixation है, तो you do not say fixation with, you always say fixation on. ठीक है, ये eliminate हो गया. अच्छा, engross means to be completely absorbed. So engrossment के बाद हमेशा in आएगा, with नहीं. So ये भी eliminate हो गया, ठीक है. Now captivation, captivation के बाद with नहीं, captivated by, it is always captivated by, right? Fascination with हो सकता है, fascination by भी हो सकता है, but captivated will always be captivated with addition नहीं, captivated by something, ठीक है. Everybody got the point? So this is all. It's about the usage, and also it is all about how do you eliminate the correct options. Everybody got the point? Everybody understood this? Yes. All clear, I hope. So this is the 7th question. All got the point? Everybody understood? Right. So if you notice, elimination. How did I arrive at the correct answer? Elimination, right? And elimination कैसे करते हैं? Context में, right? This word with tells you a lot. ठीक है? Everybody is clear? Next question करके देखो, right? 7th we have done. Try the next question. In this way we dash. So what are we doing so far? If you notice, as we go deeper into the question, things will become more sensible. So what is happening? Just give some time. So we begin and start off or commence, right, as being deficient, right? But this obsession with addition, so it makes us, it wastes all our life adding things at all levels, whether they be physical objects or information that is misunderstood to be knowledge. In this way, we dash unnecessary layers, right? So what will I, here you require a verb. So we dash unnecessary layers in our thought process and action. So what will I fill up here? Subject here raha, verb here, object here raha. So it's about, what will I say? So if you keep on adding, what will you do to layers in a thought process? You will definitely, you know, it's almost like adding layers. So what should be the answer, right? So people are slowly, everybody is saying the answer is E. Let's see. Okay, everybody is saying the answer is E. Hope everybody gets it correct. So many of you have answered, right? So the answer E is correct, right? Now, okay, now if you notice, we create and develop. So this is basically like adding. You are actually adding. So everybody got the answer correct here. देखो इसमें कुछ words है. Concoct. Concoct basically means false story बनाना, right? So concoct the story मतलब एक fiction, मतलब अपने तरफ से बनाना. So to make up a story is to concoct. So ये suitable नहीं है. Devise basically means to design a strategy, right? So that is devising, ठीक है. Procreate is giving birth to, so not at all suitable. So everybody got the answer correct, I think. Everybody should have got the answer correct to 8. All got it, I think. Now let's try the 9th one. So we are on the 9th one, and if you notice, those of you who have not done it from the beginning will be a little bit confused because there are two options. This is what I was telling you in Maharashtra CET. Two options. ये इसलिए है because you will have to find the answer option where both the words can fit in the blank. So now we are looking at 9. ठीक है. So far what are we speaking about? Our obsession. We would always like to add something. We think that we started off lacking something and we are obsessed with, you know, accumulating things. So this is the whole process. So let's dash that we do not start in a deficient state. So what will I say about 9? Let's dash that we will not, you know. So what will I say? Okay, Shreya is the first to answer. Acknowledge and accept, right? Shri Radhika Shakti also thinks answer is D. Manali also D. Akash also thinks answer is D. Right? Everybody seems to be getting it correct, right? So good, I think. Raj is also saying our answer is D. Sakshi, Radhe, Prachi. So Everybody saying the answer is D. Yes, the answer is D, correct, right? So this is something which we have to be looking at, right? If you notice, right, there are some words which you can explain. For example, what is the meaning of the word exceed? Exceed basically means agree. Okay, this is still fine, but assume, right, is something which is not suitable, because in assume, you assume without evidence. Assume is evidence के बगैर पहले से ही मान के चलना. It is not this. You need to be convinced yourself. So assume does not fit in here. ठीक है. Approve के बाद you always require an object. You approve of something. So object is not there, so you cannot use it. Undertake is basically to accept a task, right, or to start on a journey. That is also not suitable here. Comply means to follow. Comply is basically follow, especially orders or rules. So ये suitable नहीं है. ठीक है. Recognize फिर भी ठीक है. Adopt basically means to accept as your own. गोद लेना. So this is also not suitable. So the best answer is D. Everybody got the point, I hope. Right. Last question is this. So let's, what does it say? Let's acknowledge, or let's accept that we do not start in a deficient state. When we appreciate what we are or what we have, this appreciation can dash to our tryst with divinity. What is tryst? Tryst means meeting. Divinity means being next to God, being divine. Okay, try the last question, then we can see. This tryst can dash. Be very careful. I hope everybody is getting the sense. What should be the answer? This tryst, right? So this appreciation can dash to a tryst with divinity. This appreciation can dash to a tryst. So what should be the answer? Okay. Now, Ankush, everybody is saying answer is B. Everybody is saying answer is B. Everybody is saying answer is B. No, answer is not B. ध्यान नहीं दिया. To culminate के बाद never to. It is always culminate in. So B cannot be the answer. Right. Lead fine है, but culminate नहीं. It can lead to. I agree. But culminate to नहीं होता. Culminate in. Culminate in means result in. So everybody is marking the answer wrong. There is an option which says none of the above. None of the above. None of the above. This means you'll have to be careful. So once in a while, such things will definitely happen. Everybody understood this point? Right. So both the words should fit in the blank. If you're not aware of your surroundings, this is the mistake which everybody will do now. Right. Now एक देखो, आकाश A और C बिल्कुल suitable नहीं है. देखो, it's like lead. The word which you require is something similar to lead. The word which you require is something similar to lead. Right. Conduct to कैसे हो सकता है? No. Impel to भी नहीं होता. Impel basically means you make a person do something out of his own choice. So impel को compare करो with the word compel. So impel, I was impelled to study. That means I took it up on my own choice out of my own choice. Somebody inspired me. Compelled मतलब forcibly. ठीक है. So this is what we have to be very careful, right? So be very careful, right? Now can affect to our tryst नहीं हो सकता ना. Generate कैसे हो सकता है? Produce to हो सकता है. No. Exemplify में नहीं. Lead हो सकता है लेकिन culminate नहीं. So the answer will have to be none of the above, right? So be very careful with things like this. ठीक है. I hope everybody is clear so far, right? So this is what I wanted to discuss with you, everybody, right? So there is one more, close. This I will actually give it to you as a homework, right? You can see it and you can answer it. This is a screen which you can do it very easily, right? But usse pehle, before I give you the homework, what did we learn for today? One is, right, vocabulary and idioms you need to work on, right? If you want, I will show you that page again where I was telling you about, about what can be done as far as vocabulary is concerned. I will show you that again, don't worry, right? So there is this, there are these 4 sources, right, which everybody should, work on for the next 3-4 days. These 2 sources are for phrases and idioms and phrases, right? And this is something, an URL which you have to Google, right? So this is what we need to build. So next 30 days definitely focus on vocabulary to a great extent. 10 question vocabulary से आना ही है. 10 questions are bound to come from vocabulary. So vocabulary पे focus करो. And last but not the least, expect new things, right? Maharashtra CET, they ask you new things, expect new things, right? So read the directions very carefully. Now, for example, this is another new thing. This I will give it to you as a homework. What does it say? Right, if you notice, this is a closed test, right? And if you notice, there are words given here. So the word may be suitable, may not be suitable. So there are in fact A, B, C, D. There are 6 words here, right? Now, without answer options you can solve, right? So potentially ke baad, whatever will fit in here will be from these choices only. This is also a type of close. So what I'm asking you is to basically pay attention to the direction. So this question you can do it, as a homework. You can do it very easily. Answers are given, but I'm not, I am skipping the answers, right? So before we end, let me quickly tell you about the courses. CAT 2021, there's a percentile booster course, right? Percentile booster course is basically meant for people who are a little bit confident about the basics and who would like to improve their score, who would like to optimize. So it's going to be more like focusing more on strategies and question solving rather than focusing too much on the basics, right? And for those of you who would like a long-term kind of a preparation, there's a course, CAT 2022. This is for the exam which is going to be conducted next year. So you will have nearly 2 years to prepare, right? So starting from a scratch, going slow, you can see that, right? Okay. And one more thing is, there is this, there is also this CAT Maharashtra CET 2021 crash course which is going on. You can definitely attend it anyway. You can see it that way, right? Okay. Now, Radhika, how to score 40 plus in mocks? Which mocks do you mean? See, exactly 40 plus score karna, that I cannot guarantee, but yes, right, a lot of things will depend on the strategy. Strategy kya hai? Time management sahi se kar lo, right? Number 1. Number 2, eliminate the wrong options. English mein eliminating the wrong options reduces the time like anything. Okay, right? And these are the teachers. You can see the people who take your classes here, right? And this is like the super subscription plan. Understandably, there are two branches, one for 2021, one for 2022. Okay, and all of you know that with Gradeup super subscription comes free internet. For the period of your subscription, you will get your bill, your internet bill will be free, right? And one more thing, 24th to 26th, there is this CAT 2021 Quant section All India Free Mega Mock Challenge, right? Register for this and try it out. You will definitely be able to understand whether you are prepared for this or not. It's to measure how good is your preparation. Okay, right? So let's end it here. I will meet you again next Sunday. So every Sunday I take a session at 10 o'clock. So that is what we will do, right? So that's it for today. Thank you everybody. Have a nice day. See you again next Sunday, 10 o'clock.